Better get your shit on. What's up, y'all? It's Erica. Hope everyone had a good weekend. This is your Insecure episode 6 review. We're gonna get right to it, but then we're gonna hit the sun, and I really want to be comfortable talking about this shit, so we're gonna see. Everybody had a good weekend. Hope so. If you don't know me, my name is Erica. You can follow me on Twitter at Sweetface Dinero, Dinero. I'm also on Instagram at polite_as_fuck. I think that's what it is. I'll put it in the description box. I'm not sure. That is my Instagram for my channel, so that you can get updates on like what videos are up now, and just make sure that you subscribe so that you can get the notifications that a new video is up. Anyway, so let's start off. They were still at Coachella, or leaving Coachella, and Issa runs into Lawrence, and she asks him, what have you been up to? And they show a montage of him. Okay. They show a montage of him screwing and fucking and just getting it in, just getting it in. Him and Chad getting it in. Him and corny ass Chad getting it in. Issa's she's somewhere getting some permits, and she wants to throw a block party. Hopefully that comes to fruition as a series or a season finale episode. But she wants to plan a block party for her community. Even the girl in the place where you get the applications for the permits was like, girl, we don't do, like, our people, we can't have anything. It ain't gonna work. And she's trying to do it quickly, and the girl's like, oh, it's gonna take you a long time to get this done. So she feels like she's a little bit overly ambitious with this project, so she's kind of getting discouraged. She goes outside of the application place, and Nathan is standing there looking sketchy as fuck. And he was very supportive of her, telling her, like, you can do this. I believe in you, type of thing. It's a good idea. You just got to take one step at a time, and you got this. He's very supportive, very encouraging. Everybody loves a supportive and encouraging nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's two qualities a dude should have, is being supportive and encouraging. And then in addition to upholding you and keeping you honest. Those are things you want in a partner, in a friend, in any human in your life. That's what you want. So, he's looking pretty good, to Issa, in terms of, this is somebody who's being supportive of me. You understand what I'm saying? So Molly's at work. Her assistant Karen is cute. She's funny. She actually reminds me of the girl that Lawrence was with when him and Issa broke up. The bank teller girl, Tasha. She reminds me a little bit of her. But she says she's going to have a shower. I guess she's having a baby shower or something like that. She wants her to help to plan a baby shower. Honey, I'll be writing notes. She wants her help to plan a baby shower. And she said something about her boyfriend. When she walked away, Molly was like, did nobody ask you about your man? I love Molly. Nathan and Issa, they laying in the bed, and he's looking off into space, and she's talking about, what was she talking about? What was she talking about? I don't even remember. And then she asked him, are you paying attention or whatever? And he was like, just daydreaming. And then he asked her, how do you know when it's real? And then she was like, well, I get what she said. You just feel it, or you have to say it. He was like, I really like you. And she was like, shit, I didn't know we could say that. And then she was like, I like you too. And then they start making out, and we leave it up to your HBO imagination. So the next scene is Lawrence. He's, they're giving you a backstory on him and what he's been through. And from the montage in the beginning, this nigga done got chlamydia. So he's calling everybody, which was so funny, to let them know that he is infected. No, I'm just playing. That he, has chlamydia, and he's doing the responsible thing by calling the people that he's had sex with and letting them know, which was good. That's, At first, when he was calling the girls, I was like, what is he doing? Since he saw Issa, he's trying to find somebody to be in a relationship with. But then I realized he was calling the girls he gave chlamydia to or had sex with. Issa in her property manager position, they show a little bit of her dealing with her tenants, and the man said she was cleaning up some dog shit, and the man was like, she was like, Mr. So-and-so, you gonna have to clean up after your dog. He was like, I don't have no dog. And then the dog barked. That shit was so funny. I love, like, that is why Insecure is so funny, because it be real shit. Like, this is real shit we talking about. Okay, look, we about to go into the sun. The sun has risen on this Monday morning, and niggas is driving like bats out of hell on the freeway. Okay, what happened after that? So Liv calls, and in that scene, Liv calls and tells her there's an investigation in regards to an assault that happened in her car, and she immediately texts Nathan, asking him, you know, telling him about it. I guess, I don't know, giving him a heads up, just letting you know that they called me about what happened in the car. And so, oh, come on, let me get behind this truck. Yes, I'm gonna stay right here behind you, bitch. So Molly and the Asian dude. Now, where is the Asian dude from? Was he from Coachella? Was he one of Nathan's friends? Who is the Asian dude, and where did he come from? Because his ass is a cutie pie. Somebody has Molly's jacket, so she wants to get the jacket back. His name is Andrew. And her and Kelly and Issa are sitting there talking, and she was like, well, which one was he? Was he the black one? Because I've been fucking him a lot. I said, come on, Kelly, bitch. I like Kelly. Kelly is my favorite character. She is my favorite character. But I got something to say about Kelly let me get over, because he going entirely too slow for me. I want to get to something somebody said on Twitter, and I really thought it was interesting about Kelly's character. So let's see, what else were they saying? So they're saying that she's been single. She needs to find a man. There's tumbleweeds coming out her pussy. They're talking about Molly, right? And Issa's telling her, well, you're closed-minded. How come you don't want to date anybody out your race? And when Molly said, I was like, bitch, yes, but Molly's ass is crazy. She was like, okay, but Jewish men and Jewish women only date Jewish men and Jewish women. How come, I can't do that? And Issa was like, that's a religion. She said, well, I'm Orthodox black. Okay, thank you. Thank you, fucking Molly. Thank you, Molly. I was like, yes, bitch, you better be Orthodox black. I love every minute of it. But she says, don't be close-minded. You just never know. Which is, that's some advice to give Molly, because Molly does seem to have these ideas set up for herself in her mind, and she only wants to go with that idea no matter how detrimental it is to her. It's her idea, it's her list. She wants to go according to that list, but we'll see how that works out with this guy. So Issa starts telling them about the block party, and she comes up with the name Music with a Q, because something crazy she said, and Kelly is like, girl, no, that is not it. That is not. And so she ends up texting Nathan and telling him that, I guess he was right about the name. And so she thinks it's weird that she hasn't spoken to him in a day and a half, had no text or anything. So everybody's like, okay, well, you never know. Niggas is busy or whatever. So, what happened? So Kelly is looking at cupcakes to make for Tiffany's baby shower, and she's gonna make some cupcakes for her baby shower. So that's cute or whatever. Let's see what else happened. All right, so Lawrence and Chad. So Chad is telling Lawrence how unbothered he is, when clearly he is bothered, but his fiance broke off their wedding because he fucked 2 strippers. When he was getting it in and the booties was bouncing. Honey, you lost your little fiance that you had. I guess she was done with it. So he was like, and so then Lawrence was having this moment where he was like, I'm too old to be doing this. After making calls to women that you had sex with to let them know that, you have chlamydia, you probably at that point is sitting down like, shit, this is really not the life. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I'm too old for this shit. And then Chad, he's in his, predictable toxic masculine role and saying, no, you're never too old to do this. It's nothing wrong. He's just a bad friend. Like, he's not a friend in terms of for relationship advice and stuff like that. You don't go to Chad for that. Chad is too, corny. That nigga is so corny to me. So Tiffany's husband gets there and Lawrence calls. He says, "Hey, Daddy." He was like, "I'll never say that again. Don't worry about me saying that." That was funny. He was talking about how Chad being hurt. He was like, "I'm not hurt. I'm unbothered." Nigga, you bothered. Just admit it. So he was like, I saw Issa and, it's just I can't get over. Every time I look at her, she's always going to be a cheater. And then Chad was like, "Yeah, she a hoe." And then he like defended her like, "No, she's not a hoe. She's, he defended her, and that was just some hoe shit she did. It's not who she is, but what she did was on some hoe shit." So he defended Issa, and after seeing her, and he was all googly eyes and bright eyes, they both were. I'm looking like, okay, Issa, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? But later we find out, okay, she's really over him, and it's like she's in a good space with him. They see each other at Tiffany's baby shower. The baby shower is fantastic. Like, it's decorated nice, it's beautiful, it's just really a nice baby shower. And they notice that they're late, but she told them a different time. Tiffany, that I don't know how I feel about Tiffany's actions, but then I kind of understand where she's coming from, where she's, she has a whole new set of friends apparently who are mothers, and this girl that plans her baby shower is also a mother, and they're like real corny, I don't want to say they're corny, but they're overly obnoxiously friendly and chipper. And Issa and Molly are not, though. They're just a different type of vibe than these women that are at this baby shower, which I noticed. And she's calling them her crazy crew. And Tiffany comes around the corner looking so pretty with her stomach and her hair, and she looked really cute. But you notice that she does have different kinds of friends. And I think that's a pretty standard, but if you're like kind of catering or not including another friend group in something that is a major decision, that could cause some strife, or what I mean, some issues, some tension in between you guys. Anyway, so Lawrence is at the baby shower. Did y'all see all of her pregnancy pictures? She had a Beyonce picture. It was Beyonce, Cardi B, and somebody else she had up there in their pregnancy, but she mimicked their pregnancy photos, which was really cute. Whoever thought of that idea, and had all of the portraits on her wall in her living room, which I thought it was so hilarious. Issa is there, Lawrence is there, Dro is there. She keeps calling Nathan. He's not answering the phone. And then even Molly was like, "Well, let's call him from my phone." And she was like, "No, I'm not about to do that, but okay, let's do it." He didn't pick up that phone either. So she was like, "Let me go say hi to Lawrence." So she walks over there to Lawrence, and they're talking. They're having a good conversation. It's very comfortable. It's very familiar. It's very like, okay, Issa, what the fuck is going on? But again, we see that she's just like, I'm really over Lawrence. I feel like, we're just cool or whatever. But I don't think Lawrence is feeling that way. I'm not sure if he's like, "Oh, I see a different side of Issa." And they're just catching up, and she tells him how proud she is of him doing his thing, working, getting more projects and this and that. And she told him that she quit We Got Y'all, and he was like, "Wow, that's major." It was just like, they're just catching up. It was good to see them. She tells him about the block party, which is probably going to end with him and Lawrence and Nathan coming to the block party, seeing each other, and Issa being in a compromising position. We're going to see how that's just my prediction. Anyway, so she's telling him, Lawrence's eyes, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but his eyes are just smiling when he's talking to Issa. They just look so bright, and he just looks so like, this is Issa, this is my girl, like, and they're just talking, and she tells him about the block party, and he says, if you know anybody, he offers to help. So she kind of including him in this thing. If you know anybody, and he says, if you need any help or whatever. So Molly sees Issa and Lawrence talking, and she's like, "Oh, maybe I should just go talk to Dro." So he's over there with his ignorant self, sitting on his phone on the couch. So she walks over there, and he says, "Oh, you want to talk to me now?" She was like, "Man, listen, I knew this was a bad idea. I shouldn't have came over here anyway." She said something. He was like, "I'm just saying." And then she was like, "Okay, well, this was a waste of time." He was like, "Yup," and just walked away. I was like, they are such a mess. They get on my damn nerves. Molly and Dro. They get on my nerves. So they leave. So Kelli comes in with the cake. She's extra late. She comes in with a cake. Issa brother says something. She said something to Issa brother. Issa told me you couldn't read. That shit was funny. Her ass is funny. So she gets all out of sorts because she wants to put her cake someplace, you know, because I guess out of the friendship, Molly and Issa are closer, and what's her name? What's the girl's name? Kelli and Tiffany are closer of their friend group. So she was like, you know, I guess Kelli wants to feel like she wants to be represented as Kelly's friend, as Tiffany's friend at this party. And they're like, no, we've already set it up. You know, the new friends or the other friends are like in Kelly's face. And she like kind of throws a tantrum. And she like, you could see her like not having a good time at the party. And then she ends up leaving early. So when Issa and Molly are leaving, I don't know if Tiffany is walking them out. I don't know how they got outside with Tiffany, but Tiffany was talking about being on the planning committee. Why, you know, so they were like, why didn't we get to help you with your baby shower? And she was like, well, number one, she threw it for me. She's a mother. I figured she would have, you know, a better sense of what is needed, basically. And their feelings are kind of hurt. But then you also have to think about, none of you bitches wanted to throw her a baby shower. It was none of your idea to throw her a baby shower. So I kind of felt where she was coming from. Like, okay, no, you bitches is not on the planning committee. If you would have been on the planning committee if you threw the party. You didn't want to throw one for me. I guess you didn't think about me enough to throw one for me. And, you know, Kelli, they're explaining Kelly's behavior, saying she feels left out and this and that. She was like, well, you know, basically Tiffany is like, it is what it is. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. So Molly and Issa are talking. She tells Molly that she's over Lawrence and that she'll always love him, but it's time to move on. And what does she say? Oh, so she sees Dro. Does she see Dro again? And then she ends up texting that guy Andrew, to go to dinner. Is the dinner still on? Because that guy asked her out. So she was like, is dinner still on? And he was like, yeah. I don't know what is going on with this traffic, but whatever. Let's see. So Tiffany was sad about Kelli leaving, and, you know, she was like, you know, Kelli is like, you know, she, you know, Issa impersonates her at one point, which was kind of funny with that deep voice. And it's like this. I feel like Kelli's character is the sassy, self-indulgent sidekick. Someone said that it was kind of selfish for her to go off like that. And then I thought about her as a character. I'm like, you know what? We really don't even know Kelli. We know her for her one-liners. We know that she's self-indulgent. We know that she's smart. We know that she doesn't bite her tongue, but we don't know anything about her. Who's her love, the interest? I see her with a lot of different dudes, but we haven't had a focused story on Kelli in 3 seasons. And we even know more about Chad than we do about Kelli. Like, what's going on in Kelli's life? I would like some character development there, but it probably won't happen until season 4, since we really technically, unless they lie to us again, we only technically have 2 more episodes to go. So yeah, Tiffany drops the bomb that Candace and Dro are expecting a baby, and Molly looked like she got sick to her goddamn stomach. She looked like she got sick to her stomach. So Liv calls Issa and says, you know, Nathan Campbell made a statement. Don't worry about the Liv, you know, thing. So she's like, okay. She was like, well, did you talk to him? And they were like, yeah, we talked to him. She was like, when? Today? And then they were like, yeah, today. And then she like looks back at her text messages and notices that, oh my God, guys, and notices that, can y'all see me? Shit. And she notices that, you know, that he hasn't texted her at all. So are we thinking that Nathan ghosted Issa? Did he ghost her? Because, you know, and then why would he do that? And everybody's like, all like, you know, the commentary is like, he's supportive, he's encouraging, he makes her feel good, you know, they're impulsive together, and now all of a sudden he's gone. What happened? So I'm thinking when they were laying in bed, when he said, how do you know when it's real? Was he talking about Issa? Or was he talking about somebody else? And that's why he was like in like a daydreaming mode, fucked Issa, and went on to whoever he thought is what's real to him. I don't know what's going on. He better have a good reason to why he's not, you know, it's been a day and a half. I know that's kind of like silly to be like, in a day and a half I haven't heard from you, but when you go from a consistency and then all of a sudden it just goes away, it's a possibility that he ghosted Issa. My God, what is going on? This is hella traffic. I haven't even made it to my halfway mark. So what do y'all think that is? Do you think that he ghosted Issa? Do you think that, oh bitch, do you think that, I need to stay on the road. Do you think that, what do y'all think? I think she's gonna get the permits for the party. I want her to get the permits for the party because I want that to be like the season finale. And I want Lawrence and Nathan to show up. I want Issa to be like, okay, he ghosted me and okay, I'm moving on. But then he shows up and and she's like, starts messing with Lawrence. This is my writing in my head, what I think I want to happen. Molly and Dro are going to have a blow up about the baby. Not him not telling her, but they haven't been talking. And what else? What else story we have? Storyline. Oh, and Molly and this Asian dude. So we're going to see what's going to happen. I thought the episode was good overall. And tell me what you think. Do we think that he ghosted her? Is that what's going on with Nathan? And didn't I tell you the nigga was? I just don't like an inconsistent. That's the kind of shit like. And do you take somebody when they ghosted you and then they creep back up into your life, into, you know, they're gone and then all of a sudden they back? Do you accept them back with the same energy, or do you give them another chance, or are you kind of weary now because they got emotionally connected to you and then emotionally detached from you? And because to me, I feel like somebody who does that, that's kind of dangerous, you know, because it is hurtful for somebody, and hurtful for somebody like Issa because she really kind of like jumped into it, and it's fun, you know, something new, and everything that was happening in her life is new. But then she kind of is like, all right, I'm over Lawrence, and it's like focusing on this dude, you know, and it's cute. And she was like, I think, oh, because, you know, she even referred to him as my man. And you know how that she may feel like, okay, I'm calling this guy my man based on actions and behaviors, and then now he's disappeared. That's kind of embarrassing. That I would, you know, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, where did he go? You calling him your man? Was this established? Did y'all agree to this? I mean, like, what happened? How is he your man? And then you haven't talked to him in two or 3 days, or heard from him, nothing from him, no text, no nothing. What's going on, Issa? You know what I mean? So I'm sure we're gonna see what's gonna happen. I didn't see what's gonna happen next week. I'll catch the previews for what's gonna happen next week. But we only have 2 more episodes left again, unless they lied and we got some extended episodes, or, you know, at least 2 more episodes or something. But we'll see. Again, let me know what you guys think of it. Leave your comments, like, subscribe, and share this video. And I appreciate your support, and have a wonderful day. Take care of each other.